Hey guys, Tyler Ansman here with Tyler Ansman Performance. So today we're going to do kind of a drill breakdown on the turnarounds, or what they're kind of more commonly called the janitor throw. And so we're going to talk about kind of how we set this up, who this drill is right for, and how we may cue it for some different issues. The first thing is, so in the previous kind of video, we talked about what hip shoulder separation is, why it's important, and kind of like the scientific basis for all of this in terms of why it helps us kind of throw harder. All right, so that's kind of where this drill can help us out. All right, so basically what we're looking to do is a combination of a couple of things, kind of depending on the specific issue we're seeing in the athlete. So the first would be to kind of delay torso rotation to drive this hip shoulder separation kind of better, right? So we're delaying the torso so it's not going so early into foot strike. That would be one thing. All right. The other thing would be, is an athlete getting their hips open on time? So this could be a feed the mistake kind of variation of that, right? So if we're not seeing into foot strike, the hip, kind of that rear hip open to at least about 45 degrees, we're probably not really on time. And then it's going to kind of tend to make everything go as one piece instead of giving us that nice kind of segmental rotation where we're going to get that stretch and rebound on the connective tissue. All right. And then kind of the final piece of that would be, do we have a guy who is kind of fighting their structure? So somebody who's kind of got beyond the scope of this video to some degree, but somebody who's got a retroverted hip structure and they're stepping across their body and they don't have adequate kind of internal rotation to make that work. Okay. So do we have that happening? Because if so, we can kind of cue them to make sure we get that hip open a little bit sooner, right? To kind of be able to clear that and have the pelvis kind of finish that rotation through there to lag the torso a little bit better and kind of still get that stretch that we're looking for. All right. So those are kind of the issues that we can kind of target, and we'll cue it a little bit differently based on what we're going for there, but it can serve a purpose for kind of all of those issues. All right. So how do we set it up then? So what you're going to do is you'll step up to the rubber and we'll essentially kind of set up how you typically would with that rear foot. Then we'll kind of turn against it. And so what I'll kind of often tell guys is we're going to even close that glove arm shoulder off even a little bit more so we can kind of help hold that counter rotation a little bit longer. So then from here, what we're going to do is going to be a small leg lift or even kind of like a slide step basically into it. And then we're going to throw. And so kind of the cue would be clear the hips early and lag the torso. All right. And so for guys who are kind of struggling to lag the torso, what you may do is kind of have them keep their eyes back here a little bit longer, because what everyone's going to want to do generally the first time is kind of find their target early. And so what that means is we kind of rotate as this one brick. All right. But what we want to do, right? Hips get open and then the torso comes through last. All right. And so we can kind of work on kind of holding this back leg tension a little bit longer. Again, this is going to be more for kind of our retroverted structure guys that will be cueing it that way, but we cue it a little bit differently for kind of an anteverted guys. All right. But this drill can work for a couple of different issues, and that's kind of how we would plug it in there. So generally this will be kind of one of the last drills in your sequence before you get to the main work for the day, or kind of the last piece of your blend before we're actually pitching off the mound. All right, that's essentially how we would program this. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you're interested in some guidance in your own career and some help getting to the next level, let us build your program for you. So the way this will work is we'll take you through an entire assessment process, going through your mobility and movement screening. We'll take you through a mechanical analysis as well, based on about 60 points that we've built out to kind of decide where your greatest areas of opportunity are. And then we'll also go through a force velocity profile so we can help build out your strength and conditioning plan. With this in mind, we'll build out an entire plan for you based around all of your kind of areas of need, weakness, and opportunity based on your time of year and working with your current school schedule if that becomes an issue. You'll have access to your coach every day with unlimited text and email support, and a video library for kind of any issues that you have with the movements. We'll also check in weekly to see how your throwing is going, and we will kind of guide you through the entire process. If you're interested in this, shoot us an email or kind of check out the informational page on the website if you have any questions. Thanks.